County Beautiful, 810-767-9696. And I do want to remind those who are here for the ordinance that that will be taken up in the next meeting. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Anyone else? Anyone else? Go ahead.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'd like to thank all the residents for coming out. And we been seeing people cleaning up. I've seen Land Bank out today and all this week and last week, cleaning up the different areas. The NSO officers been out ticketing properties, making sure that people are held accountable for their blight or their trash that they're leaving out, ticketing cars. Also the city of Flint for also out. Again, we're doing a job well done. We're just starting off the spring. So if anybody is interested in neighborhood cleanups or anything like that, please contact us, and we're out doing the work as well. Have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else? Seeing no movement, and I will speak on the proposed ordinance that I am fully in support of that. We have a lot of vacant properties in the 4th Ward. There's one at the end of my street that they stopped paying taxes on it. It went up in flames. It's at the land bank now, and here we sit, just like so many other streets in the 4th Ward. So I am fully 100% in order of that, in favor of that, and I will vote so accordingly. Thank you. Consent agenda. Entertain a motion. Go ahead.
A motion that we approve the consent agenda.
It's been the motion was made by the councilwoman in the 7th Ward, supported by the councilman in the 1st Ward. Are there any separations? And
Airwick scented oils keep your space fragrant for up to 70 days. Airwick, always fragrant, always inviting.
I would like to separate 260145.
okay.
And as well as 260089.1.
All right. Any other separations? Any other separations? Yes.
260089.1.
It's already been separated. Jerry just separated.
Yeah.
What, I thought you did 26.
She did 2.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Any other separations? Any other separations? Hearing none, the consent agenda will consist of 260143, dear credit for the purchase of a wheel loader for the fleet division, and 260144, change order 1. My mouse is not working well.
Mr. Alamin?
Present.
Dr. Lewis is not in. Ms. Johnson is not in. Ms. Priestley? And
Present.
I did not. I know Ms. Shat made the motion. Who seconded that motion?
First ward.
Okay. And then the motion was to approve, but it's obviously to move to council
Yes.
Okay.
Go to council.
already.
Or roll call,
So
Madam
roll
Clerk.
call. Mr. Alamin?
My mouse is not working well.
Mr. Alamin?
Present.
Dr. Lewis is not in. Ms. Johnson is not in. Ms. Priestley?
Present.
Ms. Winfrey Carter is not in. Ms. Burns is not in. Ms. Mashat?
Present.
Mr. Pfeiffer?
Present.
Mr. Jarrett?
Present.
You have 5 members present.
We have 5 members present. Reading of disorderly person, city code subsection Any person that persists in disrupting this meeting will be in violation of Flint City Code Section 3110, disorderly conduct, assault and battery, and disorderly persons, and will be subject to arrest for misdemeanor. Any person who prevents the peaceful and orderly conduct of any meeting will be given one warning. If they persist in disrupting the meeting, that individual will be subject to arrest. Violators will be removed from the meetings. Are there any agenda changes or additions? Any addition or changes? We do have
Madam-
an add-on.
Yes, Madam
Do we
Chair.
have two? Yep.
Yes, there are two.
Okay, and so I will order those without exception,
Well, I object because we don't know what they are.
I'm going to tell her right now.
But you're ordering them before telling
Oh,
us.
sorry.
Yeah.
All right, so one is a resolution to accept the Flint Police Foundation grant to the Flint Police Department and amend the fiscal year 26 budget in the amount of $127,000. The other one is a resolution to accept grant funding for the city clerk's office for an early voting wage reimbursement for the November 5th, 2024 general election. And I will order those without objection. Add-on number one, the clerk's resolution, and add-on number two is the police, just because that's what's on the order I've got them in my hand. Yes, ma'am. Okay. Are there any other requests for agenda changes or additions? Yes.
If you could please repeat for the record which add-on is which. I'm sorry.
Add-on number one is the resolution to accept grant funding to the city clerk's office for an early voting wage reimbursement for the November 5th, 2024 general election. Add-on two is the resolution to accept the Flint Police Foundation grant to the Flint Police Department and amend the fiscal year 26 budget in the amount of $127,000. You're welcome. Okay, it's now time for public comment. Members of the public who wish to address the City Council or its committees must register before the meeting begins. A box will be placed at the entrance of the council chambers for collection of registrations. No additional speakers or slips will be accepted after the meeting begins. Members of the public shall have no more than 3 minutes per speaker during public comment, with only one speaking opportunity per speaker. Madam Clerk, who is our first public speaker?
The first speaker is Sarah Scheitler.
All right, ready? Good
Just
evening.
one moment. Excuse me, Madam Chair.
Yes.
I just want to point out,
Still catching up on your admin from last year? Get back on track of your business finances with Xero. With Xero, your invoices and payment reminders are sent automatically. You can reduce your average payment time by weeks. Xero syncs with your bank, payment processors, and business apps. All of your financial data is organized and updates automatically in one place, saving you time and hassle. It's time to change the way you manage your business accounting. Sign up for Xero today and free up your time for the things that matter the most.
Talking about birth control can be awkward. But the more we know, the more confident we are in our decisions. So talk to your doctor and see if an estrogen-free option like Slynd could be right for you. Slynd. Let's love everybody. Slynd does not protect against HIV infection, AIDS, and other sexually transmitted diseases. Do not take Slynd if you have kidney, liver, or adrenal impairment, have or have had cancers sensitive to progestin, or undiagnosed vaginal bleeding. Continue watching for full important risk information.
that we are, again, having issues with the outside monitors, so the public might not be able to see their time. So just when you start, you have 3 minutes, and we can see it on this side, unfortunately. I'm still working on it. Thank you.
Yep, just tell me if I'm done.
Go ahead.
Good evening. My name is Sarah Scheitler. I am a resident of the Central Park neighborhood in the 7th Ward. I am the president of the Central Park Neighborhood Association, and we worked with our council person on the proposed vacant building ordinance that I believe you heard 2 weeks ago. I'm here to speak in support of that again tonight. Our neighborhood, and I think the entire city of Flint, is experiencing a crisis of vacant building owners. As you may have seen in the last week's Wall Street Journal article about Flint investments, we have lots of out-of-state investors, out-of-country investors who are buying up properties and then often sitting on them, letting them deteriorate and causing, instead of investment in our city, an investment in the further deterioration of our neighborhoods. And this is completely unfair and frustrating for the residents who actually live in these neighborhoods. We need to ensure as a city that these investors are improving property conditions in Flint and investing in the lives of the people already here, rather than sitting on those deteriorating properties and waiting for a payout. We feel that the proposed ordinance is one tool in our toolbox to do that, and I hope you will consider passing that on to council tonight. Thank you.
Thank you.
The next speaker is James Thompson.
Good evening, council members. My name is James Thompson, and I'm a resident of Flint and a member of the Central Park Neighborhood Association. I'm here tonight not just to speak about my property, but as you've already heard, the pattern is here in Flint, and we need to put some teeth into our ordinances. Behind my home sits a vacant property. There's no house, only a deteriorating, what I would call a blighted garage. And from that property, a large tree fell years ago onto my chain link fence, crushing it and leaving my yard exposed. And that damage still remains today. At the same time, an aggressive, invasive vine emanated from that tree, and it continues to grow and neglect my property, attaching to my garage. And I've been cutting it back now for 7 years. I have tried to contact the property owner multiple times, but no reply. So what does a homeowner do? Maintain the property for them, absorb the damage, or spend time and money chasing an absentee owner? This is not just my situation. This is happening across Flint, and I'm sure you well know that. And it points to the larger issue. Absentee ownership without accountability leads to neighborhood decline.
This is Chicago.
Welcome back to All for the Love of Chicago. I'm Kristen.
I'm Lisa.
Welcome back, Lisa.
Your hair looks great.
Yeah, thank you. Well, funny you should mention that as we go into the deep dish segment. I wanted to just kind of circle back for our listeners that are listening to every episode, which I hope you all are. A couple episodes ago, we talked about when I moved to Chicago And my little sister, as my congratulations gift for the job, got me a gift certificate to go to Pascal Porel to see Pascal from The Golden Bachelor. And I finally did it. So it was so embarrassing. Lisa, it was not my best moment. It was so embarrassing. So
I'm not even helping you here. I'm just like,
I know. You're like,
and?
So I just hate this. So I go to see Pascal. He doesn't really take on new clients, right?
Okay.
Apparently. That's what I was told. So I don't care. Right? I'll go for anyone. So his salon is in Glencoe, which I'd never been there. So cute, by the way. New area for me to explore. Took the day. I'm out there. The salon I normally go to, I've gone to the same hairstylist for 25 years. Okay. And in COVID, he moved it into an add-on of his house, like a separate entry. So I go, he does everything. This salon, popping. People everywhere. It's packed. It's multiple.
Dynamics.
Wow. There's just, it's madness, but in a good way, controlled chaos. And so I walk in, they're like, great. And I had said on the phone, okay, also, I got this gift card and I'm the new CEO of Choose Chicago. So I'm really hoping I get to meet Pascal. And they were like, we'll tell him. Didn't happen. Obviously, no one was telling anyone anything. Sure. They were like, okay, cuckoo. Okay. So I get there and no mention, whatever. So I'm going and he's right there. He's cutting hair. He's front and center and I had to walk right by him. So I'm like, I don't know what to do. So I'm walking by and I said to the colorist, I'm like, can I say hi to Pascal? Is that weird? Or she's like, of course. Of course you should. And I'm like, okay. So I'm like, Pascal, hi. And he immediately looks at me like, why? That's how I was like, why are you talking to me? Why?
I heard it out my window. And I noticed the lack of police staffing. And so I came in here because I had heard a council member saying that their parents should be fined. There should be curfews when the day before we had Drop Fest that had all the staffing in the world. And that's probably also why 810 couldn't have been staffed as well. So I'm just wondering when we are going to get to the Flint youth and them having third spaces. We've talked about that before, and I guess that's on the police chief. Green, you guys told me that he's sitting on that funding. So I didn't know if you guys will have advice for us on what to do and who to come talk at instead of you guys, if that's not on you. I'm hoping that things will be different this summer, because I've noticed in all the time I've lived downtown that predominantly black events are not staffed that well, like more white ones and out-of-town people ones are, and it's sad. And so since I live downtown, I don't know what it's like in other neighborhoods, but I'm starting to get the impression that that's a citywide thing, that neighborhoods aren't safe and 100 bullets are being shot into where 2 little girls are sleeping, whereas it's super safe downtown. Maybe we should spread some of that out. But I know the police things aren't on you guys, and I've also seen how since we had the emergency manager and then COVID, that things are just kind of crazy. And like you had pointed out, Candace, that we don't have to be certified for a lot of different businesses, and things just aren't how they used to be. Chief Green never started coming back. I just didn't know if you guys could help tell us what to go do to start seeing some things change so that more children don't get killed. And it's not just, I know it's not one simple answer. It's third spaces for the youth. It is, it's certainly not fines and yelling at parents who had just sent their kids, seen white kids go to something and come home safe the day before. And also, how are we going to police these neighborhoods? And maybe there could be something for, not a neighborhood watch, but like neighborhood coalitions more in each ward, and then the wards coming together for resources, I think would be a great idea. So I just wanted to thank you all for your time and giving me the chance to talk today.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Next public speaker.
The next speaker is R.L. Mitchell.
Hello, I'm R.L. Mitchell. I live at 759 East Linden Avenue. What was it about the graveyard on North Saginaw Street? About the situation in that president of ours three people got shot down in the middle of the sea, messing with the little man because he got a whole bunch of that marijuana, and he won't even address the peoples in Flint. The little man in Flint named Kristen, and he made Ed Taylor look like a drunken bozo the clown, walked out of the drunken council meeting, would answer them questions, and when he impeached the mayor upstairs and he didn't come, and Taylor, the only one come upstairs to represent, not that little black docket, and he walked out because all that junk. Don't blame Christian, he's just the man doing the best he can. He know what to do with the money, with the opera money. He'll use it, not only be scared to use it like them old drunken peoples in Ward 1 ain't scared to use the money. In Ward 2 ain't scared to use the money. In Ward 3 ain't, but all that's, pay attention, New York, because that's a Donald Trump front yard, Brooklyn, New York. And I seen on the other day, killing them little boat people's got all that marijuana and he gonna blast them out. Don't even ask no question. He can save them life. But scared of a little boat person think he gonna blow up the whole Navy ship. Killing them little people like that. Because you don't mess with the boys on St. John Street with all that dope money. Got making more money than the administration. And this drive-by drunken gang, stinking junk. They stand by and wait and shoot up the houses. I see that junk and shoot the wrong house. Good thing 91-year-old lady went in the house, but they found out they be parking about 5 blocks down the road. Instead of shooting up the house and shooting 4 years old and that 12 years old, nobody want to mention that junk. What's wrong with y'all? You stinking junk. Like the gang got y'all under hostage. I didn't know nothing about this drunken meeting here and all to beat them like it's having a secret drunken talking about. I come in there and they got that old security guy down there, black ISIS, ready to ask questions. Where you from? All that junk. Get out of my face. I'd rather do one of them, the big black guy. This dude, he took a hit out of this big black, can't call his name right now. He want his lick back. You know what I'm talking about? Drunken. I was born in USA. I'm gonna do the big, hey, good evening, America. R.L. Mitchell approved this message.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Next public speaker.
Next speaker is Sarah Houston.
It's been a while since I've been here. Still nobody here. Sarah Houston, 6th Ward. First, I want to say thank you for to those council members who voted to subpoena the mayor and hold him accountable. I need y'all to hold the mayor accountable. I will continue to hold the mayor and you all accountable for lack of services to the deaf community here in the city of Flint. The mayor is holding another press conference right now. He held another one May the 1st, where you were standing next to him. I need y'all to hold this man accountable. You are serving deaf people in this city and you are ignoring them every day, every time. He's holding a press conference about the 99 bullet shot and that killed that precious baby right now with no interpreter. So the deaf people that live in that residence has no idea about their safety. I need you to hold that man accountable. Do your job. Do your job. Now, as far as this body in this place, a sign language interpreter could be standing right here. Right here. And they will be visible to the screen, because I watched it on my own television screen. They will be visible to the screen. They will be visible to the audience. It can be done. 239-3112, Communication Access Center. I don't need this work. I don't want it. It is not for me. It is for the community that I serve. It is for my son. It is for my nephew. My son walks around my park and he is deaf. I think he has a right to know what is going on. I'm sick of y'all finding excuses on putting off. It's not even on the agenda anymore. What? You just keep putting it off. Well, she ain't coming, so it's okay. I'm hoping that show you care. Show you care. Show you care. I don't have time up here, so I don't know where I'm at, Davina. Thank you. Thank you. I just ask you to please hold it accountable. I just want the family, I don't know if they're listening or if they're around, the family of Tylisha, I believe her name is. I could have said it wrong. I'm sorry if I did. But to know that people are praying for you, people are supporting you, people are here, and I want the city to change. We need the city to change, and it takes everybody to stand up and be a part and and help these youth. Be present for these youth. Be there to listen, not to lecture, to make them feel less than, but be there for them. This is how we can, if we show love to our youth, we can turn this city around. And again, don't forget the deaf community. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Next public speaker.
The final speaker for this meeting is Audrey Muhammad.
Good evening. I'm Audrey Young Muhammad, second ward candidate. Thank God for that new rule. I mean, not the new rule, but the new interpretation of the rule. I apologize for not being in here. Just want to speak to what was being said in 2021 during the campaign season on a city safety plan. If I'm correct, 6th Ward Councilwoman Tanya Burns had tried and attempted several times with introducing and even trying to get a committee together. I keep saying it over and over again. I do recall council groups back earlier, maybe 2015, 2016, they did have community safety meetings. My understanding, there's something through the county. But we had a council person who was designated to be on that committee who brought information back and took information to the community. I definitely ask that the council put that in place. We are only in May, and it has already gotten ridiculous. It's not just here in Flint, it's in many other cities. But that don't mean that we have to follow the plan of what other cities are doing with not having their safety plan in place. The senseless shooting, the senseless and reckless things that are going on. I would just like to say this. A friend of mine, house caught on fire back in maybe late March, early April. So she's been displaced from her home till they get the smoke out. It's not burnt up bad. She could still live in it, but they're doing some work on it. She came home on May the 1st, only to find out that her house had been shot, like stray bullets had gone through her windows. She found that she called the police department and they told her to come in and file a police report. No, they need to go out and investigate and see how many bullets have gone into this woman's home. She's already handicapped severely with MS, and her mom is helping her get around. Thank God they were not in the home when it did happen and did occur. However, Flint City Police Department, please go out and investigate and see what's going on. Like I talked about the 80-something-year-old woman who was sitting in her home and somebody was out there shooting at the power box across the street from her, and the stray bullet went through her front window. Over on Mackin and Winona, about a couple months ago. This is ridiculous. Police did come out to her home the next day, but why haven't you gone to the other home over on Winona too? No, not Winona, it's on Comstock. Please do your job.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, that was the last public speaker.
That's correct.
Thank you. It's now time for council response. Council members may respond once to all public speakers, only after all public speakers have spoken. An individual council member's response shall be limited to 2 minutes. Are there any council persons that would like to have response?
Mr. Chair.
Councilwoman in the 6th Ward.
Thank you. And thank you to all the public who is here. But at this time, we should have these council chambers filled. Crime is not down when it comes to our youth being killed, shot down in their homes while they're sleeping in their beds. It's not down. 2024, 10 children were shot in the city of Flint. 10, 6 were fatal. We just had the 9-year-old little girl in my ward who was shot. The markers stop at 99. That's where they stop. There are 237 bullet holes in that house. I've seen them. I don't know how anybody made it out alive. She was shot while she was sleeping. She went to bed and never woke up. She won her track meet that day. She was excited. She was winning in life. Her parents, her siblings, the neighborhood, people will never forget this. The anxiety with hearing the gunshots. Go to ABC 12. They got the recording of the gunshots. You can't even count them. There's so many in the rapid fire. This family, I don't know if they'll ever get closure. Every room, including the basement, had bullet shots that went through that house. 237. 99 is the highest marker that it goes up to. We need to pray for this family, pray that this gun violence stop. We got Canterbury, 13-year-old girl was sleeping, shot in her bed. Logan's mom is here. Travel Lodge, she wants to know what happened to her son. He was killed. We need to do better.
Thank you. Any other council members that wish to speak? Any other council members? Councilwoman in the 7th Ward.
Thank you so much. I do want to make sure that we as a body stop and acknowledge the 10-year-old young lady who lost her life. 9-year-old, thank you. I appreciate that correction. The 9-year-old young lady who lost her life. I think that it goes without saying that this is devastating to our entire community. And what Rich was talking about when he came up here about needing enough people to be able to investigate, needing enough people to be able to have all hands on deck when we have situations like this, to be able to stop them from occurring again in the future. So I do want to send my sincerest condolences out to her family and to the community around that was also deeply impacted by what happened to her. I also want to talk about with Spectacular Spuds. I do agree that she is running an incredible business and that parking is an issue. I don't necessarily agree with the proposed solution, but I think we can come up with some sort of solution. But that parking down there is a problem and has been a problem. I want to bring attention to my brother's keepers, food pantries, and the shelters. I think our budget needs to reflect some funding for those specific things in our community. I also want to bring attention to, Natalie, what you talked about with third spaces. Mari has been talking about that for quite some time now and wanting to see something for the youth. She's also submitted a plan for the youth as well, and I think that when we talk about this budget, funding for youth needs to be reflected in this budget as well. And then, Natalie, you also mentioned businesses needing to be licensed, which is something we've talked about and something that I am determined to have happen again, all those licenses that were gone. But businesses also need to be supported here as well. And so that's something else and that I am committed to seeing in our budget as we move forward. I yield.
Thank you. Any other council response?
Mr. Chair.
Councilwoman in the 5th Ward.
Thank you. First, I would like to thank all of the residents for being here. This chamber should be full the residents, you guys need to come out. You need to be engaged in this process. But I do want to thank you guys for being here and continuing to be engaged in the process. My heart is full. When I think about the 9-year-old baby girl, 9 years old, I couldn't even hold it together when I found out about that. I pray for her parents and her sibling that is in critical condition. This has got to stop. The senseless gun violence, senseless. It's clear we have a gang problem, and we got to get on top of this. I'm asking that all of the OGs who were in gangs, you guys need to come together and talk to these young boys. Parents, I know it's going to be some people upset with me, but parents, you need to raise your children. You need to raise your children. You better go in their bedrooms, check their bedrooms, check their closets, under their beds.
Thank you. Any other council response? Any other council response? Yes, Councilwoman in the 4th Ward.
I didn't hear about the shooting until the day after, and any child who loses his life is tragic. Being shot with that many bullets in their house indicates to me, unfortunately, that it was targeted at someone and the child was the fallout. That is so sad to me. I agree with my colleague in the 5th Ward. I've had several of my great nieces and nephews and nieces live with me over the years. And I have checked their stuff. I try to know where they are. The one that's currently living with me is 20 years old. I can't control her. I don't think she's getting into trouble, but I don't know for sure. But I do check her room because I am concerned about some of the people she hangs out with. So parents need to do that as well, especially when they're younger. You know, my nephew was 13 when he was living with me, and I wanted the kids at my house so I knew what was going on. And I oftentimes had 6 and 7 13-year-old boys in my little 965 square foot house, but I knew what was going on. That's what parents need to do as well. So my sympathies go out to all the mothers who have lost children. I'm not being a parent, I don't have that, I will never have that experience. But my hearts go out to you deeply, and there's no words that can ease your pain, but know that people understand. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other council response? We will now move on to the consent agenda. Is there a motion for the consent agenda? Councilwoman in the 7th Ward.
I make a motion that we approve the consent agenda with separations.
There's a motion to approve the consent agenda with separations. Is there support? There's support from the councilman in the 1st Ward. So it was motioned by the councilwoman in the 7th, supported by the councilman in the 1st Ward. Are there any separations?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Councilwoman in the 4th Ward.
260122.
Separated 260122, which is full separation. Was there a question? Okay. All right. We'll move on to resolution or ordinance 260122, Code Amendment Ordinance Chapter 18, Taxation, Funds, Purchasing, Article 4, Purchasing. Is there a motion?
Mr. Chair.
Councilwoman in the 6th Ward.
Motion to send 260122 for approval. Motion to approve. Send it to council. I'm sorry, we're in special affairs.
There's a motion to send the resolution to council. Is there support?
Mr. Chair,
Councilwoman in the 5th.
I support that motion.
Motion presented by the councilwoman in the 6th Ward, supported by the councilwoman in the 5th Ward. Any discussion?
Mr. Chair.
Councilwoman in the 6th Ward.
Thank you. Through you to Attorney Gurley. Attorney Gurley, we have tried to get answers for some of the things, and this would be one of them which really drove us to look at making changes to the purchasing. Where is the subpoena at this moment?
You would need to have...
Can you speak? I can't hear you from here.
For the subpoena, I can
Correct.
draft a memo, but I can give you a synopsis at this point that the council does, as a legislative body, have the ability to open an investigation. And once an investigation is opened under the charter, then you can subpoena witnesses. But you have to have an investigation first under the charter.
Okay, so why are we just now hearing this if that was sent 2 weeks ago? So we need to vote to have an investigation first?
That is the process.
Okay. So was there email? Did you send an email stating to the clerk that that needed to be done?
I did not. I received the information about the subpoena, I believe last week, but there were a couple of other legal opinions that you all requested, and so those were worked on as well.
Okay. To you, Mr. Chair, to the city clerk, what date did you send, if I could have the actual date that you sent for the subpoena request, because we're not getting any answers. This administration walks away when we ask them questions. What date did you send that, please?
That would have been on May 6th.
So on May 6th was the first time that it was sent for a request for the subpoena? Or was it sent during our council meeting, which was probably about a month ago? When we initially requested to have the mayor subpoenaed, when the administration walked away.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry to interrupt. That was asking for an update. Sorry, that was the wrong email. It was forwarded on April 27th.
So on April 27th, the request went in. You forwarded email to the city attorney with the request to have the mayor answer questions on ARPA funds that have been spent without council approval. And for us, that's when we were having that conversation. And so we are now at May 11th. And you got the update on May 6th that we needed to open up an investigation. We need to vote to have an investigation.
No, on April 27th, the original request for the information was sent to Attorney Gurley regarding council's motion, and the reason why it took a couple of days because I sent her your actual motion plus verbatim language that followed, and then on May 6th, the council asked for an update. So that's when I sent an email to her asking for an update on the subpoena.
Was that May 6th?
Correct. The original email was sent on the 27th, and then I sent an email for an update on the 6th.
Okay, so we have asked questions in regards to We were trying to get questions, and we still haven't gotten a clear answer. There's $280,000 that was supposed to be earmarked for or coming from the Mays Center. $54,000 is from the Genesee County millage. We have asked where are these funds coming from that are in Parks and Rec. We've asked who approved these funds, and each time they walk away and don't answer. So we got $280,000 that we don't know how something is being funded. It's everything. Then when they say it, they say, hey, we just spent $25,000 because we can do it because of ordinance number 30877 or whatever that number is, because they know it's so much, it's rattled off. And so with us reducing the limit, we say one thing, we had more people in the city before emergency management. Council did it with no problem. And now we're lacking the will to govern what the mayor is spending. And it's not with approval. Every dollar in those ARPA funds was supposed to come to City Council for approval. But then we got the general fund thing, a question. There goes my time.
Thank you. Any other discussion in the first round? Any other discussion in the first round? We will now move to the second round. Any discussion in the second round?
Mr. Chair.
Councilwoman in
Thank
the
you.
sixth
To you,
ward.
to Attorney Gurley. So we don't even have all our members here. We're missing 3 today. And so it would be more than likely that it would not pass. But we have a responsibility as the council. We have a responsibility. And in that ordinance or in that resolution, it states that all ARPA money must be approved. Attorney Gurley, if funds have not been approved by council on the Apple track money, what is our recourse? ARPA track. If monies was spent, put into other categories, we don't know how much is being spent actually on anything. We got 3 different budgets for how much the director is getting. We don't know who's doing the cleaning. Then we were told that the cleaners just moved to McKinley and been put on pause because council was actually doing their job and asking questions. What is our recourse with money being spent with ARPA funds? And on the resolution, it says, be it as resolved that all dollars spent should be approved by City Council.
Through the chair to Councilperson Burns, when it comes to the ARPA funds for the Fund 287, all those funds have been allocated. If it is funds that are in the general fund that was transferred for revenue replacement, the legal opinion stated that you do have the ability to approve those resolutions within the confines of what you can do for the general fund. So in essence, that means that you still have to meet the thresholds in order for council to approve in those 9 different categories.
Okay, thank you. So as I said, this is why, because we don't get answers. So it is general fund money. Once we took that money, put it over to general fund, we followed the guidelines by general funds, which is by the state. Is that correct? Underneath our Article 7 of the finance. I don't have.
Correct.
Okay, I yield the floor. Thank you.
Any other discussion in the second round?
Yeah, Mr. Chair.
Councilwoman in the fifth ward.
You know what? I support this this ordinance 100%. The mayor has a $75,000 threshold, and he has continued to abuse that threshold. You know, he used 75,000 probably several times to keep the Clio Road Center open. After we voted to open the center for what, 6 months?
The golf courses.
Yeah, the golf courses, anything he wants to. The young man stood up there and said the other week that they used $25,000 to do
whatever it was that they were doing, and none of this is coming to council for approval. We need transparency, accountability. You know, this is the residents' money. This is public money. And it's just being used without no type of, approval. And this has to stop. So I support this. I think $10,000 is enough to do city business, the city business that we need to do on emergency. Everything else should come to council for approval. So, but I'm looking here, I think, and I don't know, I think I'm gonna make a motion to leave this.
I didn't want to talk, but go ahead.
Well, you know what? Can you make the motion?
Sure.
Okay, I yield.
Thank you. Any other discussion in the second round?
Mr. Chair.
Councilwoman in the 7th Ward.
Thank you. Through you, Madam Clerk, I would like to have you send an official request from this council body to the administration for a record of every dime of ARPA money that has been spent. Madam Clerk, thank you. Because what's interesting, and we start to get into wordplay, and we start to get into games of, yes, the ARPA money has to have council's permission to spend it, but once it's in the general fund, then we don't have to ask you to spend $75,000. Again, when that was voted on, that was a good faith effort so that we could keep our revenue replacement money, so that we could get our revenue replacement money from the state. And at the time of the vote, it was presented as though any ARPA money that would be spent would be in the ARPA categories and come through council. And now it is being presented of, oh no, it still has to come through council, it still has to go in the categories, but if it's $75,000, we do not have to ask you. And that to me is kind of that's not what I voted for. So I'm gonna make a motion to leave this here in special affairs.
There's a motion to leave resolution 260122 in special affairs by the councilwoman in the 7th Ward. Is there support? Supported by the councilman in the 1st Ward. Madam Clerk, roll call vote, please.
Mr. Al-Alamin? Yes. Dr. Lewis is not in. Ms. Johnson?
Yes.
Ms. Priestley?
Yes.
Ms. Winfrey Carter?
Yes.
Ms. Burns?
Yes.
Ms. Mushat?
Yes.
Mr. Pfeiffer is not in. Mr. Jarrett?
Yes.
The vote is 7 yes, 0 no.
The vote is 7 yes, 0 no. This resolution 260122 will stay in special affairs. We'll now move on to the special order. Special order 260153, special order Court Street Village nonprofit. Special order as requested by Council President Mashat in order to allow for a 15-minute presentation from Norma Sane, Court Street Village nonprofit, concerning an update on their ARPA funding.
Thank you so very much, Mr. Chair. Before we start the time, I do want to just explain really quickly. We did have residents who joined us in multiple meetings asking that we have people come forward who received ARPA funding, and if it was specifically something that we pushed forward, what happened with the funding if they did complete the projects. With us tonight is Ms. Norma Sane, as Council Vice President stated. She is with Court Street Village nonprofit. This particular group did receive 2 ARPA funding grants, and I'm excited for you all to hear what was done with the funding. It went toward something that we talked about a lot here in council. And so at this time, we'll go ahead and start the 15 minutes, and once she's done, we will have a chance to ask any questions if we have them. Good evening.
Good evening. Thank you, council. I have a couple of, or a few pictures. If I can get permission maybe to give them to someone to distribute to you all. Thank you. I'll apologize in advance for my unprofessional printer. Small nonprofits like us that don't have a lot of funding, don't have the best equipment. In late 2024, a majority of council members approved our ARPA grant to Court Street Village nonprofit. I have been with Court Street Village nearly 20 years. We're a small nonprofit. We started 40 years ago. We're celebrating our 40-year anniversary this year. We started in housing development. In fact, Court Street Village nonprofit was the first housing developer in the state of Michigan that utilized low-income housing tax credits. So 40 years ago, we were truly pioneers. In 1994, we began working with the 4 neighborhoods closest to downtown Flint and established a neighborhood empowerment program to help those neighborhoods stabilize and improve. So fast forward again to late 2024, we had applied for ARPA funding for a roof and paint project, and that was ultimately approved. That was using ARPA COVID pandemic funds. So to date, we have painted the exterior of 16 homes. We have 1 more to go. We were hoping to get all those funds spent in a 1-year period of time, but the weather turned cold last fall, so it's going to take a little bit longer. But we have 1 more paint to do, and we have currently replaced 12 roofs, and we have 2 more to do this spring. And then that will exhaust all of the ARPA funding. Notice on the first picture, and I should have stated this, the first and the last pictures are extensive work that we did. The last picture took 3,600 tons of stucco, and we were lucky enough to find a painter that was so invested in that neighborhood that he volunteered his time and funds to actually get that house put back together, and literally he had to put it back together with the extensive stucco work. Good standing. Part of what I really appreciated that council, when you put together the ARPA program, is you allowed us to spend up to $4,500 per house to bring a resident up to good standing. That was an incredible, I guess, foresight on your part, because we saved 3 homes from foreclosure because of that, because they were behind, so far behind in property taxes. But in addition to the property taxes, a total of 27 accounts, city accounts, were brought to good standing. That includes water, property tax, income tax, and we were able to get 2 homeowners property insurance who hadn't had property insurance in many years. So 27 accounts were brought to good standing for a total of $26,086 that the city was able to recover through those different accounts. An example of how impactful these projects have been, and we talked about this when Court Street Village nonprofit was asking for these funds, was an increase in home values. And I'll give you an example. We've got a young lady, a young couple on 8th Street that prior to this grant went to try to get a home improvement loan and was told your house is worth less than $20,000. It's in such rough condition, especially the roof. No, we're not going to loan you money. Through this grant, that couple received both paint and roof. They went back to the bank. Their house is now worth $114,000. So as hard as we are, I guess, looking for housing, because we know that that's a critical need in the city, we also have housing, you know, that a decision needs to be made. Are you going to let housing sit there and rot, or are we going to continue to invest in our housing stock and keep our residents in their houses? I guess the last thing I'd like to say is the other outcomes of the grant have been an increased curb appeal, which increases the marketability of the neighborhood, and the investment that folks have spent their own money, not just those that are receiving these benefits. We've got a couple that after they got their paint and their roof completed, they've already spent $7,000 of their own money upgrading the interior of their home, but it becomes infectious throughout a neighborhood. It partly is the broken windows theory, but nobody really wants to have the worst looking house on the block when the bar is really, really low. You know, and all you have to really do is just keep your grass cut. We have to find a way to raise that bar. And I've had neighbors come up to me and tell me that, you know, so-and-so has never swept the front of their house, but they're taking better care of their house now. So, I'll entertain some questions, but I would like to thank those council members that supported this project. I'd also like to thank, because I've worked with the city department that helps, you know, expend these, and I'll say Court Street Village's ARPA contract coordinator has really done an excellent job, and I don't want to call him out by name because he would probably be embarrassed, but see, I've worked with city departments for 20 years. And when Councilwoman Mashat and I talked about maybe applying for ARPA funds, that was really not something I wanted to do. We were used to waiting 6 and 8 months for reimbursement. A small nonprofit just can't do that. And I'm glad I did, because you have an incredible staff that is there to answer questions. They expedite our paperwork very quickly, and it's been really nice. So thank you.
So at this time, if we have any colleagues who would like to ask any questions or get further information. Okay.
Madam Chair.
Councilwoman Priestley.
What do you have the average cost of the renovations of the houses that you've done? You've done 16 or you've done 15 completed?
For paint or roof?
Both, either or.
We have done a total of, we've done a total of 31 paint. Now that'll be after the 3 that we've got left are completed in the next month or so. And I didn't bring that with me, but I can tell you nearly 1 between the cost of whether the paint or the roof, in addition to the good standing. We were almost at that $15,000 on every one. So I can make a very educated guess and say that the average was probably around $14,000 per house.
Thank you very much. $14,000 well spent.
Very well spent.
Is there anyone else?
Yeah. What was the total that was awarded to the organization from the council?
It was $200,000 to replace roofs and $225,000 for exterior paint. So that was a total of $425,000.
And you say it all has been expended, or?
We have one exterior paint to complete. We're meeting with the contractor this week. We were just waiting for the weather to break. And I have 2 more roofs to go. One, I'm waiting to get a good standing approved, and then one more. So we've got a total of 3 to complete, and that money will be all spent.
Okay, and you believe it will all be spent by year end?
Oh my gosh. My goal was to have all the money spent within a 1-year period of time, which would have been by November 2025. Again, we got hit with bad weather in October, which is a little unusual, and so it kind of dragged on till this spring. This money will be spent in the next 45 days.
Okay. And were these the only grant dollars that you had available to you, or did you have other dollars available that you were able to leverage to provide additional services?
We did get some leveraged funding through the Community Foundation of Greater Flint, but we have since 2016 received money from them, especially for the paint project. So we were really comfortable going into this that we had enough experience to carry out a bigger project like the ARPA funding. But yeah, I'll give you an example of a roof. There's a historical home, the only historical home in the 2 neighborhoods that I worked with on the National Registry. And the gentleman did not income qualify for ARPA. We were able to leverage the Community Foundation dollars to save this historical home, the roof on the home. So we have leveraged, through the Community Foundation.
Can you sort of help me to understand what area do you cover? West, east to where, west to where?
Right. So right now, today, I work strictly with the Central Park neighborhood, which is northbound Chavez, Crapo, which is right in front of the old Central High School, Kersley, and what am I missing? Court.
But at the time of the project, it was Fairfield Village as well.
Right.
Can you give him the boundaries of Fairfield?
Yeah. Fairfield is Court Street, Lapeer, I-69, and Gilkey Creek. So basically, if you drove east, as soon as you pass the bridge, the first 2 neighborhoods to your left and to your right before you get to the college are the 2 that I worked with on this project.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. And is there anyone else? So I will take the last 2 minutes to say that this was a very exciting project to take place in the 7th Ward, especially considering the fact that I think what happens is in the 7th Ward, we often run into hearing what we don't need, right? Because we understand that 1st through 4th Ward, there has been a major disinvestment. And we understand that with 5th Ward, there's finally starting to be more investment there. Same with 6th Ward, there's finally starting to be more investment there. But then when you start talking about 7th, 8th, and 9th, sometimes we get left out of the conversations, and they don't realize that while you are trying to reinvest in those neighborhoods, you want to make sure that you're continuing to keep your other neighborhoods stable, and that the disinvestment doesn't begin to happen in some parts of the 5th, some parts of the 6th, and then in all of 7th, 8th, and 9th, that as we're reinvesting there, we're continuing investment throughout the whole city. And so what was happening in Fairfield Village was, Central Park as well, is you started to see some of that destabilization happening. Started to see a lot of the homeowners over there, Fairfield Village specifically, because they some more homeowners in that area. Mostly everybody over there owns their home. A lot of them are seniors and they're getting older, and so the incomes are fixed and the houses are deteriorating. And so what this did was give those people an opportunity who have owned those homes for 30, 40 years, who have invested in our city. This gave them the opportunity for us to reinvest into them, and it's actually done a huge work in the neighborhood. There were a lot of people whose roofs were collapsing, they were falling in, and they had no idea how they were going to get those roofs taken care of. Same thing with Central Park, as it's a little bit more renter heavy, but there are a lot of homeowners in that area, and again, it's the same thing of they're aging and they're not able to take care of those homes. And so what we were able to do with this is, one, make sure that residents who were not necessarily in good standing with the city, they are now in good standing and move forward with their lives, and they don't have that worry there. But then also there was that investment that they felt like they were being left out of, and the stabilization that they were felt like they were being left out of. I want to commend you and take my hat off to you, because this was not an easy project, especially because we had a lot of things going wonky at the federal level, and so to be able to do this and still be able to do it and stay in a budget that made sense for what you had to work with, I do commend you, and I thank you for the work that you've done, and I know those neighborhoods thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. We'll now bring that special order to a close, and I'll accept a motion for adjournment.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn brought forth by the councilwoman in the 4th Ward, supported by the councilman in the 1st Ward. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Dr. Lewis is not in. Ms. Johnson?
Yes.
Ms. Priestley?
Yes.
Ms. Winfrey Carter?
Yes.
Ms. Burns?
Yes.
Ms. Mashat?
Yes.
Mr. Pfeiffer is not in. Mr. Jarrett?
Yes.
Mr. Alamin? Yes. The vote is 7 yes, 0 no.
7 yes, 0 no. This meeting is adjourned at 5:42.
I do want to remind everyone who might not have had an opportunity to fill out a speaker slip for the first meeting, you can. Okay, perfect. All right, thank you.
Oh, you do? Okay.
We'll go ahead in a minute.
Okay.
That's my sister calling about my mother.
Oh, boy.
If we could have all council members join us at the dais so we could get the council meeting started. If all council members would take their seats so that we could get the meeting started. If all council members would take their seats so that we could get the meeting started. The time is now 5:50 p.m. on Monday, May 11th. I hereby call the City Council meeting to order. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Mr. Alamin? Dr. Lewis is not in. Ms. Johnson?
Present.
Ms. Priestley?
Present.
Ms. Winfrey Carter?
Present.
Ms. Burns is not in. Ms. Mashat? Mr. Pfeiffer is not in. Mr. Jarrett?
Present.
I'm okay.
Excuse me, you have 6 members present.
I'm sorry, what was that, Madam Clerk?
You have 6 members present.
6 members present. It is now time for the Pledge of Allegiance. Ms. Winfrey Carter, would you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance? It is now time for the prayer of blessing, but before we do that, is there anyone who wishes to acknowledge a family who may be grieving right now?
Madam Chair,
Councilwoman in the 6th Ward.
I'd like to acknowledge the little girl Taharia who lost her life due to gun violence.
Is that all, Councilwoman?
Let me look at my notes right now, yes, but thank you.
Okay. Is there anyone else who would like to acknowledge?
Yes,
Councilwoman in the 5th Ward.
Madam Chair, I would like to have a moment of silent prayer for the family of Logan. His mom is here right now today. So a moment of silent prayer for Logan's family.
Madam Chair.
Councilwoman Priestley.
I'd like to ask for special prayers for the mother of LaShawn Johnson, who is ill, very ill.
Thank you, Councilwoman Priestley. Is there anyone else? Oh, I thought you had somebody. Okay. Councilman Jarrett, if you would.
Lord, we come thankful for this day that you have made. Thankful for all that you've allowed us to see and do in it. Lord, we pray the scripture that all that is going on is your doing and it's marvelous in our eyes. Even when our eyes don't understand, even when it hurts our eyes and our hearts to see it, our heart's refrain is this marvelous because it's your work. Lord, I would ask that you would comfort, that you would heal, that you would deliver, that you would set free. There is so much to pray for, so many to pray for. Everyone under the sound of my voice needs something from you. So I would pray that you would meet every need according to your riches and glory. We pray comfort, 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 Lord, as only you can. Comfort such that it boggles our understanding. That why am I at such peace when there's so much calamity and drama and trauma around me? Because the peace of God surpasses all understanding. Help us to do those things that you've charged us to do. Help us to come together to do the work that you have commissioned us to do for your glory. I pray this in all prayer in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much for that. It's now time for the reading of the disorderly persons city code subsection. Any person that persists in disrupting this meeting will be in violation of Flint City Code section 31-10, disorderly conduct, assault, and battery in disorderly persons, and will be subject to arrest for a misdemeanor. Any person who prevents the peaceful and orderly conduct of any meeting will be given one warning. If they persist in disrupting the meeting, that individual will be subject to arrests. Violators will be removed from the meetings. Are there any requests for agenda changes and/or additions? Seeing as how there are no requests for changes and/or additions, it is now time for public comment. Members of the public who wish to address the City Council or its committees must register before the meeting begins. A box will be placed at the entrance to the council chambers for collection of the registrations. No additional speakers or slips will be accepted after the meeting begins. Members of the public shall have no more than 3 minutes per speaking during public comment, with only one speaking opportunity per speaker.
I have
First public speaker, Madam Clerk.
First speaker is Doug Schultz. Not sure if he's still in. Okay, second speaker is Arthur Woodson.
So we just saw it don't be any issues with that box back there after a meeting is called to order, huh? just trying to point it out just a little bit. It wasn't no arguing or nothing. It was just she ran back there and got it, you know? So I think we can just alleviate calling the order and all that. Yeah. Again, apartments are nice. Do away with the whole green zone. And don't put it to where it's just for a two-family or a multi-purpose town hall. Make it to where we can build high schools, because right now in the green zone, you can't even build a high school unless it's green. Over between Pearson and Carpenter Road, Martin Luther King and Saginaw, they can't even rebuild their house if it caught on fire. It was green innovation. Now is where you have to come to the planning commission and get permission to rebuild your house or fix your house back up after a fire. So need to do away with the whole thing. I don't see anybody commenting on it or anything. Just put a motion on the floor. It's a living document. You can do away with all the green zones. It won't hurt anything. It'll help more than anything, because people are tired of buying lots and only can build a damn gazebo or garden or apple orchard or whatever. They want to build a house. They want to build a shed. They want to build something other than a gazebo or a garden. I wasn't going to stay for this part, but after she got up and I should say she, the lady got up here and spoke, I had to give Candace some some kudos. She player, you know. Her ward got $400,000. First, second, third, fourth. Y'all got a raffle. I think y'all only got 19 people total. They did 31 houses. And then after she got done with the money, she came up here and told you about every single dime. She did better explaining her expenditure than Flint CFO. I'm sorry. Just a joke, Mr. Moore. Just a joke. My fault. I had to get that one out. I had to get that one out. I know y'all didn't like that, but that was just a good one. It was just good timing. Honestly, though, if everybody would at least got $200,000 for each ward, that would have been close to $4.5 million. That was great what she did.
Thank you. Next public speaker, Madam Clerk.
Just 1 second. The next speaker is Audrey Muhammad.
Good evening, Audrey Muhammad, Second Ward. I'd like to start out, I forgot to mention it the last time, thanks to the city, there was a tree that had broken or gotten hit or something over on Brownell yesterday, and I came through. I didn't know until I did try to call one of the city offices yesterday that if it's after hours or on the weekend to dial 911, and then they will refer it to the appropriate city office and call the city. So they did come out and take care of that. I was thankful. They did the best they could do for it being a weekend. Today it was gone. So the road was clear. That was on Brownell, but it was a mess when I went through there early yesterday morning. So I'd like to thank that. But the seriousness, though, of the crime, I am very much interested in helping if there is a committee that will be created. Outside, I'm talking about outside of campaigning, outside of all of that, regardless to win or lose, we have to do something and we have to work as a community. I agree. We have to take and swallow the bitter pill of what's going on. It makes you say we have that pipeline from school to prison. We have to break that cycle. What do we do to break that cycle? That cycle has to be broken. If it takes us going into doing some parenting classes, doing more community activities with the children, getting the parents more engaged, we have to do something. This is a cry out, not just to the council, because 9 people can't do it alone. It's not a cry out just to the police department, because they can't do it alone. It's a cry out to the citizens of Flint. We collaboratively have to do it together. We know the areas, and many of us know what's going on. Like you say, sometimes you got to go in them rooms. You got to look on them children's phones. You got to look and see what's going on. Don't be afraid. You the adult. Because ain't no child in my house going to get away with, oh, you can't look at my phone and you can't come in my room. Like I tell them, that's my house. I can sleep in any room in the house I want to. I can go in any door that I want to in there. I'm the one that pays the bills there. So we have to just swallow that bitter pill. I mean, with respect, we respect our children's space, but we still have to take charge of what's ours. Let's go into our communities, knock on doors, ask people what it is that we can do to help and make sure when we see them, because we got a couple of them in my neighborhood right now, and my neighbor's been pointing them out, and I'm knocking on doors. Trust me, I'm going to talk to them parents. Thank you.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, before we go to the next speaker, is the timer working on that side now? It's working. Okay, thank you. Next speaker, Madam Clerk.
I just have to let you know we're having some streaming issues, so it is going in and out, and I'm just noticing like the YouTube channel is giving me messages, so we did have some internet problems this morning, so I don't know if it's affecting everything. So Next speaker is Rich Jones.
And as the next speaker approaches, for those of you who did not hear what the clerk said, we are aware of the streaming issues that are happening currently. We did have some internet outage issues throughout the day. It is supposed to be fixed, but still bear with us as we have technical difficulties. Go ahead.
How y'all doing? On May the 23rd, which is a couple of Saturdays from now at 1 o'clock at the Mack Center, there will be a Silence the Violence march. My friend DeLann Crockett, I just got off the phone with him. He's planning to do a cookout for the mothers that have lost kids due to violence. And he's going to do that this Sunday. Hopefully he's going to do it after 5 because I'll be there to help him. If not, I'm just going to do what I can in the meantime. For that march, I wanted to order another special order of Kids Life Matter t-shirts. This shirt will be orange because the Silence the Violence march colors is orange. So I was going to get some orange shirts with black and white writing. So if anybody wants to contribute to that, the only way I'm accepting help is through Cash App, and that's capital U, capital F, capital T, capital L. And then just write in your name that is, to help with because I do a whole lot of stuff through that. But right now the mission is trying to get this order out to have these shirts ready for these kids in a couple of weeks. And like I said, it's y'all chance to, stand with the community. It's sad what is really going on in our city. And we're tired, but what I'm seeing is hot topics. And what I mean by hot topics is like when something happened, when a tragedy happened, everybody jump up, everybody got something to say. And then a couple of weeks go by, it's silent. Y'all gotta think about it. This is not the first child that we had lost in these streets. It's not the first. How long would this be a subject? We really got to do something to scare these individuals. And if y'all can talk to lawmakers anywhere, change the laws. It don't make no sense that these guns, as Eric Mays used to say, big bad guns, we got to get them off the streets. The big bad guns got to leave the streets. The Messiah law must be enforced. Simple as that. Thank you.
Thank you. Next public speaker, Madam Clerk.
The next speaker is Natalie Wright. Natalie Wright.
I believe she left.
Next speaker is R.L. Mitchell.
Hello, I'm R.L. Mitchell. For the record, over in Ward 7, Candace Mashak Ward, the lady spoke real good, but she fixed them red roof. She fixed her entire Court Street Village all the way to up 2 apartments. And the people's in Mayfield, Fairfield Park, Central Park, that used to be Lovers Lane, with all them houses all cost almost $2 million a piece. And all the old people's getting old, they don't take care of the roof, they caving in, but it don't look like it. But some of them, but I had a situation with them peoples last week in the neighborhood, Candace Mashak. I went to the dollar store, Dollar General, but I bought about $25 worth of stuff. But when I got to the counter, she said, "Can't you read, sir?" I had the money to pay for it. She said, it's plastic card day. And the people from Mayflower, the woman got upset with me because I want the money. He said, "Take your money back, sir." But the people's in Mayfield, said, "I'll pay for it." And they was so angry with me for letting the lady do that. She said, "Hurry up, Mister, just go. And I want you to put that on for the record, but the people's they can take care of their own roof, make their grandbabies with their money, while the money they make on them cell phone pay for the roofs. But the old woman, she paid for me. It's just like you can do for the dude on Richfield Road with the liquor license. I approve, get that man his license. Because the people from down south with that white lightning come up here and can make a killing with that white lightning stuff. So give it to them, because they know Flint, they're making a killing all that marijuana money up in Flint. This ain't nothing but a money pot. Flint ain't nothing but a money talking about. Don't pay no attention to the other people's out happening all over in the country. People shooting each other, the kids. So that statement, what about the people's in Flint? That Rick Jones talking about we got to stop the killing, all that stuff. You know, I like he can't put a plan on. Like the Muhammad Ali woman talking about she'll go to the houses and she knows exactly who's shooting these up. All that junk going in their bedrooms and all with them little pop. They get them old pop pistols up in the most stupid cell phone, smart. Talking about hello Poto and give me my package. They send them pop guns right on through them up. And you stupid smart beat. Hey, stay tuned, New York. We gonna see how Flint solve this situation.
Thank you. Next public speaker, Madam Clerk.
The next speaker is Sarah Houston.
Hello again. I just wanted to first say thank you to Councilwoman Burns. You are everywhere all the time. Like, you are stretched so thin. You are at every scene. You know, it just shows that you care for the people. You're there always. If you so happen to be, or somebody called you, you make a point to be there and be there for your people. And that's why I feel like you are a good candidate for the next mayor for the city of Flint. And I just wanted to put that on record. Again, sign language interpreters are necessary if you want to serve all the community, all the people. It doesn't matter who shows or who doesn't. I had a friend that was supposed to come today. She didn't show up. Hopefully she'll be at the next meeting. Maybe that'll spark your interest. I don't know. But again, you are charged to serve them. My heart hurts for this city. I was born and raised here. I've worked in the schools. I see kids that are just looking for love, for some attention, some positive attention. And if we have programs in the city of Flint, I hear we have programs, but I feel like they're not well known. They're not well shared. I don't know. These kids got to have something else to do. They got to have something else to do. We have to invest. Yesterday, my park had a gathering for the young lady. I made a point to be out there. I made a point to find that father and say, hey, I don't know you, but I'm praying for you, because this takes all of us to do it. And it's not just that child that matters. This child mattered too. I hear that the police department told this mother that we don't do junkie homicides. That's what they told this mother. Like her child's life doesn't matter as much as the next child's life mattered. We got to do better, y'all. We have to serve our residents better. It doesn't matter if they're on drugs. It doesn't matter a life is a life, y'all. So again, we have to hold these people accountable. That's your job. That's what you guys are here to do. Hold the mayor accountable. Hold the chief of police accountable, the fire department, all of that stuff. That's what we're getting paid for. That's what you're getting paid for. Please do your job. Hold people accountable. Thank you.
Thank you. Next public speaker, Madam Clerk.
The next speaker is Christina Porter.
I wrote this down because I wasn't sure I could say it, so bear with me. My name is Christina Porter, and I am the mother of Logan Tyler Porter. I am reaching out to you as a concerned citizen and as a grieving mother. On April 26 of 2026, my life was forever changed when I lost my son to a homicide at the Travel Inn in Flint on Door Highway. While I am navigating a devastating loss, I am channeling my energy into ensuring that another mother has to never go through this and endure this unimaginable pain. The Travel Inn has been the site of repeated violence and criminal activity, posing a severe threat to the safety of our community. The loss of my son is a devastating reminder that the establishment has become a public nuisance that the city can no longer ignore. I am formally requesting that the Flint City Council take immediate steps to investigate and permanently shut down the Travel Inn. We need leadership that prioritizes the lives of our children over businesses that foster danger. My son deserved to be safe in his own city, and no other family should have to endure the pain that I am feeling today. This is my son, not a junkie, not homeless, but this is my boy. I have already collected over 300 signatures online and on paper to shut that hotel down. As I have heard, I have run into 5 other mothers who have lost children there in the last 2 years. What is going on? When they found someone OD'd at a hotel on Pearson Road, that was immediately shut down. And it hasn't been reopened. So what is going on with this hotel? How many more children have to die there before you understand? He was 22 years old. Yes, he had a drug problem. I'll be the first to admit we were dealing with that. But that doesn't mean he deserves to be found face down, covered in mud and blood behind that hotel. Now, I am trying to be mature about this because I have all sorts of ideas that I could close that down. I'm bringing this to you because this is your responsibility to protect our children. It is your responsibility to get rid of places like this. They just shut down a liquor store for less. So please, find it in your hearts. I know some of you are mothers. Don't let this happen to another mother. Thank you.
Whoa.
Thank you. Next public speaker, Madam Clerk.
Next speaker is Keelani Copany.
I'm Keelani Copany, and I'm 13 years old. Being a kid in Flint right now is terrifying. Being a kid in Flint is knowing that you can go to bed at night and not wake up in the morning because you are gunned down while you are dreaming. Being a kid in Flint is knowing that if something bad happens, it will trend on social media for a few days. Maybe someone will be arrested, but other than that, nothing else is being done. Being a kid in Flint is watching elected leaders put more focus on personal squabbles than teaming up to make the city a better place for the people that elected them and for the kids that have to live here. Kids here in Flint are just as used to gunshots as they are of the sound of birds chirping in the morning. Kids here in Flint are used to crime scene tape, nonstop sirens, and nonstop violence. They are used to feeling like nobody cares about them, and that is the type of trauma that takes decades to heal. It doesn't just go away. It is easier to pour into children than it is to fix broken adults. We didn't create the violence, but we have to experience it. We didn't create the poverty, but we have to survive it. We didn't create the abandoned neighborhoods, but we have to live there. We didn't create this mess, but it affects us daily. And the saddest part is the kids here in Flint don't realize that the things that happen here aren't normal. They just think that is how life is. It's time for you grown-ups to step up and fix this city and allow the children to simply be children.
Thank you. Next public speaker, Madam Clerk.
The next speaker is Mari Copany.
Tahari Knox, 9 years old. Tahari was murdered in a drive-by shooting while sleeping in her home last week. Tahari should be outside playing with her family right now. Instead, her family is getting ready for her funeral. This is what happens when our communities become war zones and local leadership fails to address the crime that is destroying our city block by block. How many more children have to die before everyone in leadership realizes that something is terribly wrong in our city? How many more children have to die before you stop fighting each other and actually work together to address the crime? How many more children have to die before you care? I am disappointed at the silence of so many in leadership when it comes to children dying in our community. And seriously, 109 hours to get a press conference about 2 children being shot is ridiculous, especially when we have another AI Flinty the Fox video bright and early Friday morning. Flint has so many programs that already exist that are working to get the cause and violence here, but so many of these programs aren't getting to the kids that need them the most. We need to be able to be a bridge to get those resources to the community. Flint has an amazing model to follow when it comes to community policing with the U of M Flint Police Department. If you were able to find funds for everything else, can we please figure out how to get the funds to get officers out of their patrol cars and into our communities interacting with the people? And while we're at it, can we please hire a social worker to help address the needs you come across while out doing community policing? I also suggest someone to reach out to the Safe Streets initiative in the Sandtown neighborhood in Baltimore. They have been able to go over a year without a single murder in their community in what is known as one of the most violent communities in Baltimore. They have figured out how to address the violence head on, and whatever it is that they are doing, it is working. Please don't let this be another summer of nonstop, senseless violence with no solutions. The kids in the city deserve so much more. And to the parents, check those phones. Your kids are posting all the dirt and drama they appear to be on Snapchat and Instagram. So please check the phones and please do something about the violence here.
Thank you. Next public speaker, Madam Clerk.
The next speaker is Darrell Brown.
Darrell Brown, Flint City Council candidate. So we just listened to the youth speak. First of all, where is everybody else at? We have kids dying. And as I look out, it's not jam-packed in here. We can talk about so much drama, but we can't talk about things that truly matter, like coming together, unifying, and doing something about violence. And I'm not just talking about one thing about violence, I'm talking about all violence. We rather bicker all the time, be self-righteous all the time. Oh, I don't get into anything. Well, guess what? Some of the people out here do. They done made mistakes, and they're learning from the people that was before them. I know it's possible to end this cycle. I've seen it. I know people right now that I grew up watching that was real gangbangers, Bloods and Crips that decided to stop, change their lives because they got it. And it's something because I heard it all the time, over and over again. The next generation is worse than the next, then worse than the next, then worse than the next. Well, then when does it stop then? When does somebody step up and actually come out and make a change? That's why we have new leaders that are going to come up. Kids are dying. Kids are dying. And I'm not just talking to the people in this room. I'm talking to the people online that's watching, because y'all should have been down here. Y'all want to fight each other. Y'all want to talk so much, but y'all not here. Y'all not here. And y'all going to continue to talk. That's the problem. Is that y'all will continue to run your mouth, but y'all not here. I called my people. I got my team here. Their kids here. You could have called people to get them here. Don't be mad when somebody truly step up and don't care. I've talked to the youth. I'm not afraid of them. I've squashed beefs. And if anybody want to step up with me Hit me up, email Darrell Brown, DARELLBROWN @gmail.com. I will talk to you. We can go holler at the youth and we can do something about it because I'm tired. And if something was to happen to my son, you got to think about it. I wouldn't be the Darrell that y'all know today. Who do y'all think I would be at that point? Because it's only so much a person can take. And I get it why people want to go out and kill, but it has to stop. It has to stop somewhere. And I'm willing to talk to any of the youth. Holler at me. Holler at me, and I will.
Thank you. Next public speaker, Madam Clerk.
The next speaker is Michael Harris.
Good evening, Council. My name is Michael Harris, 1601 Woodsley, lifelong Flint resident. I want to send my prayers out to the Knox family, to all the loved ones who have lost people in this city. A little bit of history. Back in 1989, a long time ago, I know it seems like it just yesterday to me, we started an organization called the Coalition for Positive Youth Development. I was one of the founders of that organization. Just because we had the same issues that are going on today 40 years ago. This is nothing new for us, unfortunately. We know every summer what happens. So why aren't we putting our efforts towards that? Cities like Baltimore, the young lady Copenny talked about, have put in these programs. You can tell a lot about your city by what they fund, by what their priorities are, by where they put their money. If they're not putting their money into the youth, what are we doing? The City Council has an opportunity to work with the administration. I know that's a bad sentence around here, to work on youth programs to save some of these babies. We were saved back in my day, if anybody's old enough to understand, we had MOT programs, MOT football, MOT after-school programs for girls and boys that kept us out of the streets. These are the things that have been proven to work. We got 40 years of history in this city. We act like this is brand new. We know what to do. Let's put the priorities towards it and use those priorities. Thank you.
Thank you. Next public speaker, Madam Clerk.
The next speaker is Roy Fields, Jr.
How y'all doing today? Got two issues. First, I want to send my condolences to the young ladies and the families that went through what's been going on here. I'm sorry. But I'm standing here today, and it seems like the same thing I heard 14 years ago in reference to violence, non-compliance from neighborhood and police and things of that nature. I mean, all I can say about that is we just got to get it together. You know, you got to get aside of these titles and labels of who you are, what you're capable of doing, and just deal with reality. I mean, that's point blank. You know, everybody gets sidetracked when money comes to play. But the reality is y'all see what's going on in this city. It's simple, self-explanatory. And what else I'm up here about is I still got brown water coming up on my system at home. I own two homes. I got one in the 7th Ward, and I got another home in the 2nd Ward. The 7th Ward, and I was peeling out water, brown water from the toilets. I know it's sewer. I haven't quite took my own samples yet, but it's still going on. So got to still try to address that, however y'all choose to do that. But what I'm really speaking on is this work. City's still crumbling. A lot of things still going on that I'm seeing is just, and what my assumption is, it's just non-qualified people doing the work. I mean, I see a lot of these companies coming from Macomb County, Belleville, Detroit mainly, outsourced companies coming in, and I actually deal with quite a few of these companies. I'm telling y'all, they're sending y'all the bottom of the barrel. You know, you're getting 50% apprentices that's doing journeyman work, and they don't know what they're doing. They just did an electrical issue over on my neighborhood over on Montclair the other day. Some apprentices, I talked to them. As soon as they left, the power went out in that grid. It rained for 2 days, the water filled up, they couldn't even get down there. I stayed in a neighborhood full of elderly people, just about everyone. A lot of them can't afford to have those generic electric generators that pop on when their power go out. So a lot of them was displaced. Luckily, I was over there in the neighborhood, and they know me for the work that I do, that I was able to assist quite a few of those people. And but my whole point is, like, city team, water department, I mean, I want to know what's going on at intake with this water. You know, the chlorophylls, the chlorine dioxide that's put in, that's doused in, that hopefully that's keeping us safe, but it's not, because I'm still seeing it. And I mean, we got to do better. That's all I got to say. I'm just curious to know what type of plans do you guys have in place for this water for the next coming years? What other plans do you guys have in place for these unskilled workers that's unfortunately trying to rebuild our city, but they don't have the skills to do so?
Thank you. Next public speaker, Madam Clerk.
The next speaker is Sunny Moore.
Hello. I do want to send my condolences to the baby girl that passed away that was 9 years old in Flint. Just feel like it's a tragedy that we still have to deal with gun violence every year, all the time. You know, I went to her vigil yesterday and I looked at that park and it tore me up knowing that she wouldn't be able to play there anymore. So that's why I'm here. You know, I'm ready to stand up for this community. I'm not running for no council or anything like that. I'm just here to support this community because that's what we need as a community, to support each other. I now have a 5-month-old baby girl, so I couldn't imagine. So I just want us to support each other more because it's not going the way it should go in this city. With the funds we have in this city, we should have programs for kids to do things so they won't have to be out here in the streets doing the dangerous things that they are doing. They don't have nowhere to go. There should be things for them to do. Why is there not? The programs that I see that you guys do have, that's fine. But we need centers directed for them so they can feel comfortable coming there and giving their life to y'all, giving their life to us. We can help them. We still have a chance to change what's going on here in Flint. As far as, you know, getting the killer off the streets, me, Arthur Woodson, and another person, we are working nonstop to find that little boy who killed her. And we got an idea who it is, but we're working nonstop. Everybody should be working nonstop. Everybody should be asking around what happened. Somebody knows something. Nobody is saying nothing. It's not cool. That was a 9-year-old baby girl from Flint, Michigan, the city I'm from. So I don't play that. I don't like that. So going forward, I want everybody just to stick together as a community. We are Flint. We are Flint strong. Let's keep it that way. Now, I got 59 seconds left. I'm not paying y'all a dime for this water. Why do y'all think we should pay y'all for this water if y'all know this water is dirty? Every time I get a shut-off notice, I send it to DHS. I send it to One Stop. I'm not giving y'all a dime. Y'all need to stop paying for this water. Y'all know this water is not clean. If y'all had the nerve to give me $400 credit on my dang water bill, why do I have to still pay y'all if y'all know that water is wrong? Why are our water rates high? Why is my water bill $40 but I'm paying y'all $60 just to get it? It doesn't make sense. I'm spending thousands on bottled water. I have not washed my baby girl in Flint water. I don't understand what are we doing here. What are we doing here? I'm over it and I'm here. So I just need y'all to step up. It's all love.
Thank you. Next public speaker, Madam Clerk.
The final speaker for this meeting is Paradise Williams.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Paradise Williams. I am running for 3rd Ward Council. I do feel like it is important for us to tackle a lot of things that's going on. Me outside of the council, I'm not on the council yet, but I am in the neighborhoods. I am a part of the community. I do a lot in the community, and I I'm hands-on with the people in the community, and the kids is my number one thing to deal with. Like, it's sad, it's beyond where it should be. Like, we should have been having things together to where we should be able to get the kids together. So one of my things I feel we should be able to do is come with organizations, mentors. The leaders need to come into the community more and meet with the neighbors, meet with the kids, and everybody needs to be on the same page. Like, all the bickering, the division, it gotta stop. That's all I gotta say. I really wasn't coming up here, but seeing how everybody else said something, I just felt like I needed to, and that's it. Have a great day.
Thank you. You said that was the final public speaker, correct, Madam Clerk?
Yes, that's correct.
All right. It is now time for a council response. Council members may respond once to all public speakers only after all public speakers have spoken. An individual council member's response shall be limited to 2 minutes. Is there anyone who wishes to speak during council response?
Madam Chair.
Councilwoman in the 6th Ward.
Thank you. I want to thank all the speakers, and especially Mari and your little sister, because you give a different perspective, because you see your friends and youth who are dying, who should be waking up. They go to bed at night, and some of them, their bed turns into a coffin. And they should not, when you go to rest, it should not be eternal rest in the city of Flint. It's too many times we've seen it. Mr. Harris, 2020, I wasn't even elected, wasn't even thinking about really running at all. And I had said and asked, because of gun violence, we need a comprehensive public safety plan with a specialized Flint gang task force, because the brutality and the lawlessness and the violence, these kids were poisoned by lead. And we cannot expect for them to act normal, because what happened here in Flint wasn't normal. I sat down with Chief Green. I've talked to him. The mayor will not allow him to talk to us. He will not allow us. And so when we talk about, is it more important over the kids or more important with you micromanaging, our kids are losing. They're losing. And so when we talk about, I spent my entire day, and I want to say thank you to Sheldon T. Banks Funeral Chapel for taking on the responsibility of burying that child, Taharia Knox. He has took that on. The family couldn't even afford it. We see more GoFundMes than anything in this community. But we need to start coming together. There's nothing so bad that we can't come together to fix this, to work on this, to wrap our arms around these kids. But I want people to listen to the gun violence, because this was the gun violence of the shots. We know that a 9-year-old will never. That's what killed that child and took her life.
Madam Chair.
Madam Clerk.
I do apologize. I did have one additional public comment, and I would like to add that to the for the record.
Okay.
Okay. So pursuant to the Michigan Persons with Disabilities Civil Rights Act, I do have one public comment from Mr. Charles Blackwell. And it reads as follows. Good evening. Councilman Leon L. Alamin served time in prison for being a cocaine dealer. Now he is charged with beating up his girlfriend. Once a crook, always a crook. That is the public comment from Mr. Blackwell.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who wishes to speak during council response? Seeing as how there's no one else who wishes to speak during council response, what is the pleasure of the, okay. Councilwoman in the 3rd Ward.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for everyone who's came out. Again, I'm not with gun violence. I hate when young people are losing their life. For Logan Porter, and then is 22, and then a 9-year-old. I didn't lose a child through gun violence, but I did lose a child, so I know how your heart feels. But I for our city. I'll be praying that we can do something. I'm also a bus driver, so I see children daily, and we try to, reach our young people. But we'll all be praying for our city, and we'll be praying for your family.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who wishes to speak during council response? Seeing as how there's no one else, I will actually go ahead and take some time because I do want to apologize for not acknowledging Logan. And the hotel that you are talking about has been a long-standing problem in the 7th Ward. And we've had issues and complaints after complaints. And so what I will do is get with the chief of police and see how we go ahead and get that situation rectified, because you are not, as you stated, the only one, and there have been issues upon issues, and police are called to that location often. And so that is a nuisance property. There have been other unfortunate losses of life at that hotel as well. I do want to also once again acknowledge the fact that Mari is working with, she did submit a plan for youth activities, and she did submit a plan for a 3rd space, and they did ask for money to be added in the budget to make sure that we are creating spaces for those youth. And I did tell Mari that we will make sure that we do have some funding in the budget, and that she is currently leading our youth council, and so we will make sure that that is supported as it needs to be supported. And I do want to, because we need to make sure when we're talking about community violence and the work that's being done, Percy Glover has also asked repeatedly for support and funding, and he's gone to foundations and he's come to members of the council to ask for funding to help address community violence and the gangs and the youth, and us to give him some sort of support in the intervention that he works on every single day. That is also another item that I think that we should have addressed in our budget. There are creative ways for us to do this. That is my time. What is the pleasure of the body for the consent agenda?
Madam Chair.
Councilwoman Priestley.
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
There's a motion to approve the consent agenda. Is there support? Moved and properly supported by the councilman in the 1st Ward. Are there separations?
Madam Chair.
Councilwoman in the 4th Ward.
Ordinance 250414.1-T. That's on page 5.
Have no holidays. I'm sorry, you said page 5, and you said
250414.1-T, Code Amendment, Ordinance Chapter 35, Personnel, Article 5.
Got it. For the holidays for the staff that works at the city. Got it. We're separating that for you, Councilwoman Priestley. Are there more separations? Councilwoman in the 6th Ward.
260089.1.
89.1. Hold on one second. I need to find it. Okay.
260145. 260-134.
Hold on one second. I need to find it. Okay.
And 260. Did we? Is it supposed to be a .1? I thought we changed that.
Was what supposed to be a .1?
Fire protection, I think we had.
No, they reintroduced it.
They reintroduced. Okay, never mind. That's it.
Because they took out language.
Okay.
Are there any more separations? Seeing as how there are no more separations, the council agenda will include all minutes and other communications, petitions and communications. Will also include Resolution 260143, which is the Deer Credit Incorporated Purchase Wheel Loader, 260144, which is the change order number 1 for DHT Transport, 260148, which is a grant acceptance for the city clerk's office early voting wage reimbursement, 260149, grant acceptance Flint Police Department Foundation, 260151, which is the setting of public hearing for vacation of 0.07 acre section of Brush Alley, and 260142, which is the liquor license request for Casa Amigos on Richfield Road in Ward 3. Roll call, Madam. Oh, wait, and then 260150, which is the Code Amendment Ordinance, Chapter 19, Fire Protection. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Mr. Alamin? Dr. Lewis is not in. Ms. Johnson?
Yes.
Ms. Priestley?
Yes.
Ms. Winfrey Carter?
Yes.
Ms. Burns?
Yes.
Ms. Mashat?
Yes.
Mr. Pfeiffer is not in. Mr. Jarrett?
Yes.
The vote is 7 yes, 0 no.
The vote is 7 yes, 0 no. Moving on to our first separated item of the evening, which is Resolution 260089.1, which is the amended Acceptance Genesee County Senior Millage Fund Eric May Senior and Community Service Center amended fiscal year 2026 budget. What is the pleasure of the body?
Madam Chair.
Councilwoman in the 4th Ward.
Motion to approve.
There's a motion to approve. Is there support? I will go ahead and support that. Is there any discussion in the first round of discussion?
Madam Chair.
Councilwoman in the 6th Ward, you have the floor.
Is there anyone who can answer questions from the administration?
Is there anyone who would like to join us to answer questions regarding this? There's no one available? All right. You are on your time.
Well, here we have $280,000 for the administration, and it's not just, as we've talked last week, how do we fund it? Where's it coming from? We just got the response that the ARPA funds that are supposed to be tracked are general funds and can be spent according to finance in our charter, according to the state of Michigan, and they can do what they want to do. And so when we ask about a budget, we have not gotten it. We have not gotten the answers. We keep asking. They leave the podium when we ask questions or the lectern. They walk away. So if we're even saying it, we know that it costs more than $54,000 to run the facility. There's programming, there's food, there's activities, there's salaries, there's fringe benefits. And when we ask how are we paying for this, and we've asked for months and months, we're not getting an answer. We're just not. And so it's a fair question to say, tell us about the budget. How are we getting this? We just learned again that legal opinion goes back to it is the ARPA funds, it's into the general funds, and funds can be are being spent without council approval. Despite the fact that resolution states all ARPA funds should be approved. But the caveat to it is once it was put into the general funds, it no longer became ARPA funds. And this play on, I don't know what it is. When we're asking for a budget, give us the budget. Let us know. We're not saying disenfranchise the seniors. Just tell us where it's going. When we're finding out that the director saying she had to spend money out of her pocket to pay people, well, who authorized for that person to be paid? It's a reason for it to come to council. It's a reason why it's a check and balance. It's a problem when council is consistently and repeatedly being circumvented with the $25,000 or the $75,000 to where it doesn't even come. That's not how our government is set up here. It's not set up that way. But we have to start holding them accountable. And here it goes again. Why? I don't even know why we got the legal opinion, because then it turned around like it was back to a circle. And it was just, you know, let me give you a legal opinion, but here it is. It is still general funds. We have not approved funds that are being spent. We have not. And to be able to continuously just spend with no check and balance is a problem. It's a problem. You know, I'm gonna let my colleagues, but at this time, until they want to answer questions truthfully, because we don't have them. The director was supposed to get $80,500, then it was $65,000, then it was $60,800. Which one is it? Which one is it? And it's not just accepting funds. It's more than that. How will those funds be used once we accept them? If, and not if, we are told we owe people because people were paid out of their own pocketbooks. It's not how you run government. I yield the floor.
Thank you. Is there anyone else in the first round of discussion?
Madam Chair.
Councilwoman Priestley.
So a couple weeks ago, we held a budget hearing of which we received all the information needed as to where and how much for each line item is coming for the senior center. And apparently some people didn't
request for
either
information.
Please pause her time. What is your request?
Does the person in the fourth ward realize last week we just received information just before council? So that was not a couple weeks ago. That was just last Wednesday, 5 days ago. So that's not true. You're lying.
Councilwoman Burns, that's improper. Continue, Councilwoman Priestley.
Not only that was that improper, it
Councilwoman
was
Priestley, stay focused.
So we discussed the Mays Center as part of the budget hearings. Where was the funding coming from? What is it for? What's in there? What do they need to operate? All of that was discussed during budget hearings. It's the council members' responsibility to either attend the budget hearings or at least watch the videos so that they know what was discussed.
Please pause the time. What is your request?
You don't know. First of all, Rule 43.21, you don't know.
Councilwoman Burns, that is improper. You want a point of order, not a point of information.
Request for information. Thank you. No, it's a point of order. Rule 43.21.
But I'm saying you said request for information when what you want is a point of order.
Thank you. Thank you for the correction. I appreciate that.
Are you asking for a point of order?
Point of order.
Go ahead. You have the floor.
Thank you. Rule 43.21, she cannot speak to our motives. She don't know if we watched it because we just got that information 5 days ago. She don't know that.
Thank you, Councilwoman Burns. Councilwoman Priestley.
As I said, and that had nothing to do with motives, is that the videos were not watched because it was discussed quite extensively so that we understood where the funding was coming from for the Mays Center. Since I understand that, I will continue to vote yes for the senior millage to support seniors like myself and others who utilize that center. I do not utilize that center, but that isn't because I don't want to. There are lots of programs there, and I don't understand why someone would turn down $54,000. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else in the first round of discussion?
Madam Chair.
Councilman in the first ward, you have the floor.
I'm in full support of this resolution, which has been repeatedly revised, looked at, scrutinized, changes have been made, administration have come and addressed all concerns and so forth. I think respectfully, it's time to really support our seniors and let them continue to do the great programming and things that's taking place over there and not make this so political. We done been through this resolution at least 4 or 5 times, and all the questions and concerns that everyone had has been answered. So I'm in definitely full support of this, and I hope my colleagues will support it as well for our seniors can move forward with the great programming and things that's taking place there. And I yield my time.
Thank you. Is there anyone else in the first round of discussion? Anyone in the second round of discussion? Seeing as how there's no one in the second round of discussion, this is the roll call vote to approve Resolution 260089.1, which is the amended acceptance Genesee County Senior Millage Fund, Eric May Senior and Community Service Center, amend fiscal year 2026 budget. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Dr. Lewis is not in. Ms. Johnson?
Yes.
Ms. Priestley?
Yes.
Ms. Winfrey Carter?
No.
Ms. Burns?
No.
Ms. Mashat?
Yes.
Mr. Pfeiffer is not in. Mr. Jarrett?
No.
Mr. O'Alamin? The vote is 4 yes, 3 no.
The vote is 4 yes, 3 no. That motion has failed to pass. Moving on to...
I'd like to make a motion. Am I able to speak, Madam Chair?
What's your motion?
Are we able to leave this in council?
Yeah, there's a motion to leave this in council. Is there support? Moved and properly supported by the councilman in the first ward. Roll call, Madam Clerk. Didn't.
Ms. Johnson?
Yes.
Ms. Priestley?
Yes.
Ms. Winfrey Carter?
No.
Ms. Burns?
No.
Ms. Mashat?
Yes.
Mr. Pfeiffer is absent. Mr. Jarrett?
No.
Mr. Alamin? Dr. Lewis is absent. The vote is 4 yes. 4 yes, 3 no.
4 yes, 3 no. This resolution failed to stay in council. Moving on to Resolution 260145, third quarter budget amendment, fiscal year 2026. What is the pleasure of the body?
Madam Chair.
Councilwoman Priestley.
Motion to approve.
There's a motion to approve. Is there support? Supported by the councilman in the first ward. Is there discussion? Seeing as how there is no discussion, this is the roll call vote for Resolution 260145, which is the third quarter budget amendment, fiscal year 2026. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Ms. Priestley?
Yes.
Ms. Winfrey Carter?
No.
Ms. Burns?
No.
Ms. Mashat?
Yes.
Mr. Pfeiffer is absent. Mr. Jarrett?
No.
Mr. Alamin? Dr. Lewis is absent. Ms. Johnson?
Yes.
The vote is 4 yes, 3 no.
Vote is 4 yes, 3 no. That resolution fails to pass. Moving on to the next resolution, which is, we're in the introduction of reading of ordinances, which is 250414.1-T, which is the Code Amendment Ordinance, Chapter 35, Personnel, Article 5, Working Conditions. What is the pleasure of the body?
Madam Chair.
Councilwoman Burns.
Motion to approve.
There's a motion to approve by Councilwoman in the 6th Ward. Is there support? Supported by the councilman in the 1st Ward. Is there discussion?
Which
Councilwoman Priestley, you separated. You have the floor.
Thank you. I am going to stand by my decision not to vote for this until we have contracts. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there further discussion? Seeing as how there's no further discussion in the first round, discussion in the second. No discussion in the second. Roll call, Madam Clerk. This is the Resolution 250, Ordinance 250414.1-T, which is the Code Amendment Ordinance, Chapter 35, Personnel, Article 5, Working Conditions. Roll call.
Ms. Winfrey Carter?
Yes.
Ms. Burns?
Yes.
Ms. Mashat?
Yes.
Mr. Pfeiffer is absent. Mr. Jarrett?
Yes.
Mr. Alamin? Dr. Lewis is absent. Ms. Johnson?
Yes.
Ms. Priestley?
No.
The vote is 6 yes, 1 no.
The vote is 6 yes, 1 no. That ordinance is approved. Moving on to 260134, Code Amendment Ordinance, Chapter 11, Building Code. What is the pleasure of the body?
Madam Chair.
Councilwoman in the 4th Ward.
Motion to approve.
There's a motion to approve. Is there support? Supported by the councilman in the 1st Ward. Is there discussion?
Madam Chair.
Councilwoman Burns. I was about to close it out.
I know you are. Through you to Building Improvements, Mike Ryder.
And Mr. Hippie.
Yes.
Would you two please join us at the lectern?
Thank you.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening. I know you're doing your countdown with your 3 months. Is it down to weeks and days yet?
Yeah, it'll be 59 days.
And who's counting?
What did you say? 59 days.
Quick questions. Well, not. I have some questions. So, in this ordinance, one of the things that the Landlords Association has reached out, and with having this ordinance to be approved, a lot of the homes which are issues, which are what people consider because they sit on the land bank, is unfunded. And we can't do anything for land bank. Is that correct?
Correct. I can't, but you could work on that for us. Thanks.
So no would be the answer then, right? Right.
If you're talking about enforcing
Right.
this ordinance, it's written in there that they would be exempt from it, correct?
And so it's not fair. And that's where I hate to say it honestly, get most of my complaints from. Because they don't have the funds. I know ARPA helped to clear up their demolition list, which they have exhausted all of those funds with demoing. And so when we talk about this, at this time, I am not ready to approve it. What is your thoughts, Mr. Hippie? Because you will be over this department in 59 days. Give or take a little.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be tough. It's it'll be interesting.
It'll be interesting.
We'll do our best.
It'll be tough. It'll be interesting. Staffing, and I know when we look at the houses, they just took some of the houses, unless I'm wrong with reading, off of the demo list. I believe that's what the article I read, because of there's a housing shortage. And so then how do we allow those to sit there?
Well, they didn't take them off the demo list. They have to be rehabbed and pass inspections before the demolition list will be removed.
Okay, are you familiar with the article, you or Mike? Yeah.
With who?
Are you familiar with the article? They removed some of the homes that were on the list for demo.
Well, who are they?
Land bank.
Well, they can't.
No, go ahead. You
Listen,
can chime in.
the land bank, they may have their own list, but our office have the people that actually go out into the homes. We do the initial investigation of the home. If it meets the criteria to be put on demo, it's on that list. The only way to get off that list, like Jack just said, is to rehabilitate it properly with permits and inspections until it's habitable again. So
would this put more back on yours, because they're taking them off? I guess there are people who are looking to buy these homes that are on the demo list. And then, so how do they come back to the demo list? I know you get them. It can be for electrical, plumbing, heating. It could be for not having water or any of which I know what your list is. So if they're taking theirs off, does that affect you or no?
No.
No, they just have more stock available to sell.
When anybody can buy any house.
Right.
There's no ordinance against that anymore. Well, there used to be. And so it doesn't matter the condition of that home. You can fix it. Anybody can fix it.
What is the time that they're allowed to fix it?
If somebody's working on a home, a permit, if you pull a building permit or electrical or plumbing, and I don't hear from you and there's nothing done for 6 months, it expires. Okay, that permit does. Now, if you're working on that home,
so they expire in 6 months.
They will expire if you've abandoned the job.
Okay, but if you see some progress, then.
Sorry, Jack. No, you're fine.
That's fine. I like the dialogue.
If there's progress, if you've got your plumbing, building, mechanical, electrical permits all active, and in that 6 months, I see some inspections being done where there's progression being made. Those permits won't expire. We can extend them out, so forth.
How many people do you have to go do that? You're losing Mike. Mike is like a fossil around here.
Right, I can't get around like I did. See, so I got to move away. I got to let the young guys take over here.
That's what you're supposed to do.
So we've got myself, 2 building inspectors, 3 rental inspectors, 2 electrical inspectors.
That's the
plumbing
time.
and mechanical is.
She said, "Wrap up, please." Yeah. Thank you.
2.
Okay, really quickly, Councilwoman in the 5th Ward has asked for the floor. Please start her time.
You can continue.
Okay.
You can continue.
So our plumbing and mechanical is done through a third party which is McKenna. But I mean, we get after it every day. I mean, we do hundreds and hundreds of inspections a week.
So I have a question. And I know this ordinance is basically for those abandoned properties of basically people who own properties and they live out of town and they're not coming back to maintain their properties. How are we going about inspecting those properties? And we always get a lot of complaints. I get a lot of complaints about these properties. And, you know, there's no one to, how do you contact these people to even have them to come and check out and maintain their properties?
So most of the time it's a complaint that is why we're driven out, why we're out there. At that point, if we find violations, we send them certified mail to whatever address we have on file. A lot of times, most of the time, we get them back. They don't. It's not a good address. You know, if there's a good phone number, and we do our due diligence to go through. We use multiple ways to find phone numbers to get a good phone number to get a hold of somebody. Every time we get a new permit application, we don't allow them to submit it unless we've got a good phone number. And you know, and even then, it's still hard.
Yeah, because we do have a lot of properties in the city. They are privately owned properties, abandoned properties that are privately owned. And we got to come up with a system to, you know, to reach out to these people and let them know you got to, you know, take care of your property.
I agree with you 100%.
You know, this is really getting bad, and I do understand this ordinance.
That's what this ordinance is. It's literally just we need to find you.
Yeah,
That's
we
all
need
this
to
is.
find you, and you need to. Yeah, we need to find you, and you need to take care of your property.
We are poor city. We're gonna stay poor as long as
Yeah.
we're not making them pay.
Yeah, so I yield.
Is there anyone else in the first round of discussion? Anyone in the second round of discussion? Seeing as how there's no one in the second round of discussion, I will take my time. The whole purpose of this ordinance is so that we can hold people responsible who are just holding on to these properties, who aren't doing anything with these properties, who are allowing them to be vacant, who are allowing them to be stripped, who are allowing the lawns to go uncared for, who, when the city has to go take care of it or we have to do some sort of maintenance or boarding up, we lose money. We lose money taking care of their properties, and we can't even find them. At some point, we have to force people to be responsible in owning these properties. If you cannot afford to own the property, then figure out what you're going to do with the property. But it is not fair to the city and what it costs us. It's not fair to the residents and those who are the neighbors of these properties. It's not fair when the fires happen and they break out. It's not fair when the lawn is not taken care of, and so now the whole neighborhood around it is being brought down. It's not fair that you are out of town and you own these properties and you're not caring for these properties, but you're sitting on these properties. It's not fair. This registry is not unique. It's not unique. Other municipalities in the state of Michigan are doing this exact same thing, have been doing this exact same thing. And what they have noticed is that there have been less abandoned properties. There have been less structures that are not cared for because they know that they have to register and there is a fine if that city cannot fine you. They are aware of that. There have been carve-outs for snowbirds in this ordinance. There are carve-outs for if you are selling your property, if you have someone staying and maintaining your property. We have thought about the necessary steps that need to take place. But the bottom line is we cannot keep allowing private homeowners to continue saying, well, look at the land bank. Like, okay, but you have a responsibility as a property owner that is completely separate from the land bank. That would be like me saying, well, my council colleagues don't show up for work, so why should I have to? That's neither here nor there for me and my responsibility. I have a responsibility to be here because I said I wanted this job. They have a responsibility to take care of that property, to register that property and make sure that we can find them because they wanted that property. Those are two separate issues. I do agree that the land bank and their properties need to be worked on. You will not catch an argument from me there. But I think this is the beginning of us being able to address that as well. But we have to do something. To sit and do nothing is grossly irresponsible, and it's a detriment to our city. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Ms. Burns.
I abstain.
Ms. Mashat?
Yes.
Mr. Jarrett?
Yes.
Mr. Alamin? Yes. Ms. Johnson?
Yes.
Ms. Priestley?
Yes.
Ms. Winfrey Carter?
Yes.
The vote is 6 yes, 0 no, 1 abstention.
The vote is 6 yes, 0 no, 1 abstention. That ordinance passes. I think that was the final ordinance thank you both.
Thank you.
That was the final ordinance for the evening, so I believe what is the pleasure of the body?
Madam Chair.
Councilwoman Priestley.
I just want our council members to know, because it hasn't been posted yet, that there will be a special meeting on Wednesday.
Councilwoman Priestley, are you asking for your 2 minutes?
Yes, I am, sorry.
Go ahead, you have them.
That there will be a special meeting on Tuesday for budget discussion where we can, and all of the department heads are supposed to be present to answer any discussions. So I just wanted you to put that.
What is your request? Yep.
Through you to the speaker. Are you saying Tuesday?
Wednesday.
Okay, Wednesday.
This week.
Thank you.
And next Monday will be a budget adoption meeting.
Madam Chair, and I want to put it on record that I will not be attending the meeting on Wednesday. Okay. I think you guys, when you decide to have meetings, you need to find out who's available to be at the meetings. You know, you just can't plan my schedule for me. So I will not be there.
Thank you, Councilwoman in the 5th Ward. Councilwoman Priestley, did you want to continue?
No, that was all I had.
Okay. Is there anyone else who wants to take advantage of their 2 minutes? What is the pleasure of the body?
Motion to adjourn.
There's a motion to adjourn. Is there support? Moved and properly supported by the councilman in the 1st Ward. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Yeah, don't schedule my schedule for me. She could have had the veto call I asked.
Ms. Mashat?
Yes.
Mr. Jarrett? Yes. Mr. Alamin? Ms. Johnson?
Yes.
Ms. Priestley?
Yes.
Ms. Winfrey Carter?
Yes.
Ms. Burns?
Yes.
The vote is 7 yes, 0 no.
The vote is 7 yes, 0 no. The time is now 7:11 p.m. on Monday, May 11th. I hereby adjourn this Flint City Council meeting.